Namaste, welcome back to Mindful Serenity Yoga, or I keep saying that. I mean to say waking up with Mindful Serenity Yoga because I combined my blog name with my yoga page name to create a yoga channel name called Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. Why? I haven't got a clue why I did that. I just did. So anyway, we're going to continue answering questions from this jar of questions, and they just seem to be multiplying. I don't know, they're like rabbits in there. I'm sure I've got so many yet to finish. The world is full of questions. I don't suppose there's ever going to be a time when there's not a question to be answered by anybody. Anyway, I will digress and I will proceed. I will begin by pulling out a question from the jar. Let's hope it's a good one. And I will start my timer. I will read the question. Okay. And I will take a deep breath. Just to anchor myself away from mind chatter into the present moment, into my body, so that I can answer this question, which is actually about the body. And the question is, how does the body affect or express karma? How does the body affect or express karma? Before I begin answering this question, I have to reiterate that I am not an expert in anything, especially not in questions related to karma. I'm just learning karma for my own selfish reasons, and part of my learning process has always been teaching. I have been an educator for years, but in the adult learning environment, but I prefer to learn through teaching. I find I learn more that way. So whenever I have something I want to learn, I have a tendency to teach it, or attempt to teach it, or try to teach it, whether or not I'm actually teaching anybody anything. The desire and the will is there. So that is why I'm here. So when I answer this question related to karma, I know there's experts out there much better than me that I would send you to just look up anything on karma on the net. Look up Sadhguru's understanding of karma in this book, Karma Yogi's Guide to Creating Your Destiny. And then you can look up Vivekananda on Karma Yoga, Yogananda on Karma Yoga, on Rama Maharishi, on Ramakrishna. So many experts out there in Karma Yoga. I am just regurgitating basically what I'm learning with my own understanding that is coming from somewhere inside me. Anyway, again, I digress and back to the question. How does the body affect or express karma? How does the body affect or express karma? So let's look at what the body is. The body is this vessel that we are in that will help us to move around in this world of form so that we can do what we're here to do. And what are we here to do? Well, most spiritual practices would say that we are souls sent to earth to evolve. The earth is a place where souls come to evolve. And our soul, is just a term. The soul is just a term or concept, right? But if we can look at the essence of who we really are, beyond form, the formlessness of who we are, the spaciousness of who we are, as soul that is here to experience this world of form in these bodies made of, believe it or not, 99% space. If you look at the molecular structure, break it down into subatomic particles and see that most of the things surrounding an electron, for example, is space. We are mostly space, even though we look solid and full of mass and whatnot. But most material objects, or most matter as we understand it scientifically, can be broken down into being about 99% space. So we are mostly space, even physically. But that 1% of us that shows up as matter, that puts all the molecules together to create this form that you're seeing right now, or the form that you look at when you're looking in a mirror, or the form that you look at when you're looking at your table, or your, the natural scene outside your window. That is all mostly space, right? So when I talk about this physical body I'm in with its heart and its brain and its lungs, and it allows me to, move the prana around in my body, it allows me to do my yoga practice on the mat, that allows me to walk in and experience nature, in the woods and experience nature. Well, that is what we're talking about when we talk about how does it express and affect karma. Well, according to what I know about karma, what I've read and studied about karma, karma is, it only occurs in 3 levels of the human body. There's basically 5 levels of the human body as far as action is concerned, because karma, we know, is action, the cause and effect of action, which can be broken down into our reaction as human beings. But that action occurs at 3 levels. The body itself is 5 levels. It's the body, this thing that you see, this physical entity. It is the mind. The mind consists, or the psyche, which consists of our thoughts and feelings, our ideations, our beliefs, our concepts. Then we have the energy levels, which is our Shakti, could be a Shakti Kundalini, Prana, Chi combination, depending on what background you come from. The energy level, is it high? Is it low? Is it flowing freely? Is Shakti flowing freely through the Shushanam and out into the world the way it's meant to? Or is it trapped inside us, circling around, creating a turbulence inside? And then the other bodies are the I'm going to forget them now, but basically related to the inner body and the spirit, what we cannot see, the formlessness. So actions that accumulate karma involve the physical body, the mental body, and the energetic body. So when we're talking about the physical body, what can my body do to affect or express karma? Well, any action I take, any physical action, anything I so-called do, is going to have some type of an effect to it, is it not? Say, for example, I just reach up and press this button here. The effect of it is I will shut off communication between you and I. Right? So there has an effect, a ripple effect. You may consider that to be a positive thing right now, or it could be considered to be a negative thing. But my action, the expression of this physical body through action, can have an effect. I also use my speech. When I think a lot of times when we talk about action, we forget how important speech is. What I say is just as important sometimes as what I do, as far as having an effect, affecting and having an impact on other individuals. So that being said, we have to be very, very cautious about whatever actions we take, whatever words we use, so that they are skillful and wholesome and keep us on the trajectory of getting to our goal, whether we know what that goal is or not. Remember, we're souls here to evolve. So the physical body is just something we're in, and it definitely has its needs and whatnot, its needs and its desires, because the 5 senses are a part of this physical body, right? That's how we interpret the world in this physical body, is by what it takes in through the eyes and the ears and the tongue and the nose and the sense of touch. So we need to realize, so that body is just this vessel that we as soul, and I'll use the term soul, hopefully that's okay with everyone, that we're in to experience this life through the body. So what the soul wants is to run the show, not to run the show, but it's the soul here that's here to evolve, not the body, not the physical manifestation that we are, but we get so wrapped up in that physical manifestation, in its discomforts and its desires and its the senses that it likes to experience and the senses that it doesn't like to experience, that we forget that there's a soul inside here. So it is the soul expressing itself through the body, through action. So we have to make sure it is the soul determining our actions, determining what words we use, determining how we impact the world. So we stay on that trajectory of allowing the soul to evolve in the full experience of life as a human being. And if we're not cautious enough about our actions, if we're not aware enough about the actions that we're taking on and the impacts they have on other people, on the words we're using and the impact they have on other people, we may fall off that path. We may develop karmic accumulation, because as a soul here to evolve, karma just assists me to stay on that track. When I fall off track and I do something that is harmful to somebody else, consciously or unconsciously, I will have some type of effect coming back at me. I will experience something in my own life related to that as a consequence of that, even though it doesn't seem like a direct consequence. That will allow me to learn again that that was not wholesome. That was not keeping me on the right path, so I can gain the composure and the skills to redirect that energy as soul again back on that trajectory that would take me to where I want to be, to the evolution and self-realization that I'm looking for. So we express karma as bodies by what we say and what we do with our actions. And we have to be careful about those actions and those words, knowing and remembering that we are souls in this physical form. This physical form can't guide us with its desires and its passions and its wants and its needs, related to how the mind's talking to it, kind of getting it to do this or that. It has to be the soul that's running the show, soul that's driving these vehicles. And if it's not the soul, then we will accumulate karma, we will express karma, we will affect our karmic accumulation, and we will, in a sense, suffer by having to live through circumstances or the learning potentials that are necessary to redirect us back onto that path. Karma is not about punishing us. Karma is not about, you did this wrong, so you're going to pay for it by having this happen to you. It is simply about learning and growing. The soul is here to evolve. It's all surrounded on, it's all based on giving this soul the platform it needs to evolve. And falling off the path is part of it. Falling off the path and saying, okay, that doesn't work. Like you're inventing something, you're going to try several different things, and you may get a few electrical shocks in the process. But eventually those electrical shocks are telling you, okay, that doesn't work. Let's try it. Let's come over here and do it this way again. And that's what karma helps us to do. So we can affect karma by our actions and by the words we use. We can cause ripple effects outward, and they will come back to us in terms of life circumstances or emotional energies that we store inside, our samskaras or whatever, that may color the way we process through life. Or we can, and express karma in ways that are not wholesome or skillful. All will get us back on the path eventually, and we have to think of it as learning. And so when we slip off the path and hurt others, for example, then we will be hurt. We'll be hurt basically because that is not in our nature, as the soul's nature, to hurt others. The soul's nature is loving and compassionate, and when we are anything other than loving and compassionate for whatever reasons, based on our samskara baggages or our karmic baggages, the way we're perceiving the world as dangerous, for example, and others out there as dangerous, so we therefore attack before we're attacked. Regardless of that, when we act other than what is in the soul's true nature of loving and compassion, then we will suffer. We will suffer in some way or another. And karma is just a way of reminding us that we have fallen off the path, falling off our trajectory, and to help us get back on it. So the physical body, through our actions and our words, can, the way they're expressed can affect karma. And so we have to be extremely cautious about what we do with these bodies, with these forms that we are in, and use them to serve the soul and keep us on course. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.